Ashafo yentuaso na yetuaso a mene uka say what you see on the screens a presidential jet, private jet. Now Becca said there's been issues about Ghana's presidential jet, and especially in the wake of helicopter crash the questions are eboba man for be able and say inti ebetna was am a helicopter private jet Ghana ye use it did 25 years. You bet now was my president use man share na they be or see a top of floor because we share helicopter now we share format there were consensus helicopter no it is almost like 21 years because before time 2004 and you procure yeah. If that is the case, there are questions about our presidential jet, especially and then I say China say na president also using new Bema Jata private jet ni Abema Ibrahim Mahama ni Jata private jet and also be use a private and a commercial airplane. These are troubling things. Me no can say these private jets na ye can once me say yen Tony fan top of front we are learning say the call France amaya service amatisian abe PM e okruma Ato Forcing himself have come out to talk about this issue, but then you would see Ato Forcing in a bit. But then me no can say one person also ordinary abetu same way mu in regards with the private jet and the way forward for him Imani Ghana Franklin Kujo had a lot to say about this, about the future and that's a private jet and especially the way forward, because there are questions as to whether the president is going to use it or not. And even Krano utie nsema na no kin Japan kan no party say a bra na more parliament omo the bill be ba sanka yen to private jet for Emma president but Kujo tabla ko ya propaganda was it be amene sa private jet in helicopter nke was a son no o man pene mayansa ama edi nipa akwohwe from amomewu just like that bibi and obi beka say these are preventable deaths, but regardless in some way cause there are issues are cause at the end of the day was say you can once so yen share in sema Malik in sema Franklin Kujo posted on social media and not any other two screens so you could see clearly say he had a lot of things to say in ready a for share in some kind you and yakosha to force the video no say Ghana's presidential jet has been delivered safely back into the custody of the Ghana Air Force since Monday, the 10th of November, 2025, exactly 8 months after it was sent to Dassault Falcon Service MRO base at Paris Le Bourget, PLB. Whilst at PLB, it underwent a mandatory 24 months and 16-hour technical inspection. During this extensive inspection, severe defects affecting the fuel tank and the turbo fan were discovered, triggering prolonged repairs that could only be done with manufacturer assistance at the specific Dassault facility. Clearly, me put the name say Franklin Kujo, Bryce Simmons, the co-founder of Imani Africa. So clearly, in some Bryce Simmons, purchase or Cheney say, oh, shana no private jet, I can once a can and a presidential private jet and the noon for and quarter for I'm an helicopter crash ye. Now for parties, helicopter clash there. Now present, Nanko father save helicopter, and who be here say, your best son, your private jet, because private jet is also old, it's obsolete. And no na Price Simmons passes our private jet na ye can 17. Ye de call a year abroach memu say yen kwani den yen share issue won ye intiminya den ye intimi solve because it had issues. And then I say near that. And no na passes say the call de say fuel tank. Private jets na wa petrol any fuel any crude oil private jets put use crude oil egu no. Sa crude oil no e faulty, which means say anka president et sa private jets di mo and after the fuel on a leaky ubwana fuel any private jets na after the ednity ababesi form. Now also apart from that to you who say many defects, okay, many defects. I was a friend is saying private jets no. Emma it took 24 months every day be na mo inspect to make sure that at the end of the day no private jets no be in here in terms of my solving nyina amen the private jets no back. And according to my party say sa niema no mu private jets no. It could only have been done by the manufacturer. Into you be a your OEM. What I say, I will manufacture the part. And that's how you be a who produce airplane. Untimi enshye. Yentimi nya wo krom ha. Yentimi nya wo China adis abrochi memu pe UK, US and France. And that's exactly what has been done. And then almost see about. Yentro as or say All the complex repairs, final tests including leak tests, and engine ground runs, and acceptance flights have been successfully completed. The long delay in completing the repairs was due to some apparent difficulty sourcing certain OEM certified spare parts. The aircraft has, however, been given the all clear by the DFS now. So, our patches say, Gentia, a year, sir, helicopter, sir, private jet here, Mahama, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, obey you soon. Gentia delay no is because, in terms of production, you will be a friend OEM. Now, OEM no, idea be a ejina ho, idea be a ejina ho ma, friends, a particular term, and one more produce a certain particular product, so omo pe. And omutimi den produces our OEM parts. The OEM abbreviation for original equipment manufacturer. Intino o share cars near the idea ye wo nyina na Nissan omu produce car. I'm using Nissan, but Nissan no certain parts people more. Nissan they don't manufacture it, they buy it. Akwa say iPhone ebe so ko say screen na iPhone e use no Samsung and they produce it. In Samsung, in this case, abaye OEM, original equipment manufacturer. It applies a certain part of this airplane, no. A idea you can't even know where it is. You can't even know where to get them. And until you have to go to the people who did the plane, who used, and I said, or more money parts in now, or more to produce a particular type of OEM material na part who be here the best service plane no and untia na chair ya e di 24 months e wo ho and na all part say aside from all that no omu wie no they took the plane for scrutinizing ye ko share the wo plane no ho at the end of the day no ye share say okay plane ya ye no president and the kwakwo team a Ghanaian president yem pese e beti aturenche minti no at the end of the day no, it needs to be cleared. And you know, omo passing it through a DFS. As a DFS, no, in an abbreviation name, no, Department of Education and Skills. And no, and a government approved agencies are almost to make sure say, at the end of the day, no, plane no, it pass and I say it have a friend is saying, the better system. As I say, and this same DFS no, it also stands for distributed file system. Computer who niyama plane on the board. Flights ne ebe check say ebe landing, ebe receive flights, ebe ko ebe mass signal, radar niyama nyina no. At the end of the day, and also no DFS na be ni distributed file system. They make sure that all these things are in order. And until no omuwie sa niyama no and a plane no abedu a me no ka say no o sha or the picture crack and one yade a serve you nije pa ye bompa say yankopon onbo president who ban because aircraft in there you see the aircraft people who share na no helicopter crash in semia ebeye ya you could see clearly say almost it was in a pristine condition. It was good. But then the issue was that in him the see ultimately a better so sani eti and we be able to miss by a bompa say yankopon se plane ni ko wiema ohun se Ghana ye this year and a wasro or she form ye nyina ya she form nti onkra ne mu na at least ontimi wie ni 4 years no we are net is a Ghana yes we assume address. So that is exactly what is really going on. But then in regards to this same whole private jet issue not to forcing now already budgets no or the same babe tuja or explaining the new private jets about the way forward. And also some of the things are air coso ultimately no these are big issues and our concerns I was saying I said you pay attention to it. Therefore young kwani nkutie in sama the finance minister or the tuja because clearly no there are issues at the end of the day no we need to look at it very carefully. Ni who say okay private jet here abe condition perfect na be ananu asema esi no and so be repeat no.
From the back of this the investigative report on this unfortunate incident, the crash on August 6th, the lack of these updated equipment in the aircraft, all of this is going to be addressed with the purchases you are doing.
Exactly. And that is why we have left it to the Ghana Air Force to be able to assist the government acquire the required helicopters to support the operations.
Apart from this, you are purchasing one large range aircraft and one medium range aircraft
yes,
for the Ghana Air Force.
Yes. So that is also being discussed. The Ghana Air Force is working with the manufacturers also directly to identify the type of aircraft that they will require. And again, from what we see, that will also take another 3 to 4 years before we get that. But it's obvious that you are building a country, and we need to begin the purchases now so that hopefully the next 4 years, by 2029, we'll have this one long range and one short range aircraft for the Ghana Air Force.
Are you going to be using this for executive travels as well?
It depends on the president of the day, but the Ghana Armed Forces obviously has a responsibility to pilot the president or executive anytime the president is traveling around.
The criticism about this is that what exactly is the need for this? And why you even purchasing?
Do you
That's
know?
one of the questions that the minority asked yesterday.
So let me come to you on this. The former president spent quite a lot of money chartering planes and I mean, obviously using it for official duties. Have you considered the cost of chartering to the state as compared to the cost of buying? Today, we may spend, let's say, $50–60 million to buy an aircraft, enough to be used by the state and secure the safety of not only the president, but also the executive, and also be available for other use for the state. $50–60 million. Now, if you go back to history, you notice that the charterings that has been happening alone may be equal or more than the 50 million United States dollars that we have spent.
So that was a year at force now explaining what is really going on in regards with issues of a private jet and nanui aba ye kan wasema ultimately idea to say you could see clearly so obia e kasa about this. But then the good thing and the good news here is ultimately idea aba just some parts say see and me procure all the necessary parts are clear. At the end of the day, what this means is that aircraft now you can one and a private jet and now be air company say your president Untimi use no kamya kwesi and everything is in the right order. Clearly no issues na ewo hu na yetima asolve. So and some no wo ultimately course even make sure say more updates concerning this whole issue course. Once again we are live, so you can bring in your comments near exactly what you are thinking about almost all the issues I can in some because there were a lot of things to talk about right here on this particular platform, and issues I work on at the end of the day be making sure say issue be you be addressing right here on this particular platform Pinaxtv.